Welcome. In this tutorial, we'll introduce Nebo, the versatile note-taking app for iOS, Windows, and Android. Nebo offers the same features on all platforms, with some small differences due to platform requirements. Now let's take a look at what the app can do. There are 3 types of pages in Nebo: Notes, Documents, and PDFs. Let's start with the Note. The Note is an expandable canvas that lets you add or create content anywhere. You can write or draw with your active pen, as well as typing and dictating using Apple's Virtual Keyboard. Note that writing horizontally makes it easier for the app to recognize your handwriting. Content can be easily copied and pasted, even from outside the app. To add an image, you can either long press anywhere on the screen or tap the plus icon. Use your finger or pen to drag the handles and resize your image or adjust its layout. Move the image with your finger. To select an image, either tap it with your finger or select it with the lasso tool in the toolbar. You can also choose camera and insert a picture you just took. Right now, images can't be rotated or cropped within the Note. To type, tap the keyboard icon in the toolbar and start typing. To convert your content, select it with the lasso and tap Convert. Nebo recognizes shapes drawn in one or several strokes. Hold your pen to the screen after completing the shape to convert it to a perfect form. All kinds of shapes and arrows are recognized. Once content is converted, you can move it easily. Just tap to select it, then drag it with your finger. Pinch with 2 fingers to zoom into or out of the page. To reset to 100%, tap the zoom scale indicator. To insert space between existing blocks of content, put 2 fingers side by side on the screen and wait until a blue line appears. Then drag to adjust spacing. You can also display the blue line by long pressing on the screen. Move around the canvas with your finger. Adding content at the edge will extend the canvas in that direction. To resize a paragraph, just tap it or select it with the lasso, then tap Resize. You can also use the block handles to adjust your paragraph. Your text will automatically reflow so long as it contains at least some typed text. The eraser can remove entire strokes or the precise content you touch with your pen. Choose the setting that works best for you. You can scratch out a word to erase it. Tap Undo to restore it. Your content can also be copy-pasted into a document. Just select it with the lasso, tap Copy As, then choose Diagram before pasting it. You can also use the lasso to select and move content around the canvas. Note that you can mix handwritten and typeset text. Your handwritten text can be edited with the keyboard, and your typeset text can be edited with your pen. To format a typeset word, just long press it and tap Style to see the different options. You can choose to make it bold, to underline or double underline it, to strike it through or to highlight it. Just tap again to remove the formatting. If you want to highlight handwritten words, use the highlighter in the toolbar. The highlighter can also be used to change the color of shapes, typeset text, and diagram connectors. Just hold the highlighter against the item whose color you want to change. This also works with handwritten and typed text inside a converted shape. Text can also be underlined with your pen. Draw a second line under a word to double underline it. Draw a third line to remove the underline formatting. If you strike through a word horizontally, the strike through stays as is. Strike through again to remove the formatting. To create a list, long press on a typeset line, tap List and choose from the available options: bulleted list, numbered list, or checklist. Nebo lets you customize your content. Tap the pen icon to discover the different pens and stroke widths available. You're free to change these settings at any time, but content you've already created can't be automatically updated to a new pen and stroke width. In addition, your choice of pen and stroke width won't impact the appearance of converted content. The eraser also comes in different sizes, and you can adjust it to erase whole strokes or more precise selections. To change the background, tap the three dots then choose Background. Nebo offers a range of patterns and colors, but you can't add custom colors yet. There's a Reset to Defaults option too. You can add custom colors for writing or drawing. To do so, tap the plus icon in the toolbar and adjust hue, saturation, and brightness. Tap the trash icon to delete a custom color, or the plus icon to duplicate it. Long press and drag the custom color to wherever you want it. You can add specific words or acronyms to Nebo's dictionary to ensure the app recognizes them in future. Just long press a typeset word and tap Learn. You can access the dictionary via Nebo's settings. You can also customize some of Nebo's pen gestures here. For example, you can set a strike-through to erase a word instead of adding strike-through formatting. You can also set an underline to make text bold instead of underlining it, or you can turn off these gestures entirely. It's up to you. Alignment guides are displayed when moving blocks around the notes canvas, helping to keep your content orderly. They can also be switched off. If you prefer, just tap the three dots in the top right corner and deactivate alignment guides. The keyboard is available on demand via the toolbar, but you can also have it displayed via a simple tap on the screen. To adjust this setting, access the Advanced section of the Preferences menu and activate or deactivate Tap for Keyboard. When activated, a simple tap on the screen will display the keyboard. If you need to write with a passive pen or your finger instead of an active pen, tap the three dots in the top right corner, tap Advanced and deactivate Use Active Pen. To search content on a page, tap the magnifying glass icon, type the word you're looking for, and tap Enter. If found, the searched word will be highlighted. If there are several occurrences, tap the arrows to jump to the next or previous one. If you enter several words, they will be searched separately. Note that only the current page will be searched. When you're ready to export a page, tap the three dots in the top right corner, then tap Export. Choose the format you need, and whether you need the background pattern and color to be exported as well. Name your file, and tap Export. Note that your content will be exported as a single page, so the more content you have in your Nebo Note, the more compressed it will appear on the exported page. Now let's talk about the second of Nebo's page types, the document. The document is designed for more structured note-taking and text-led content. Be sure to write on the lines for the most accurate handwriting recognition. Tap the keyboard icon to display the virtual keyboard, then start typing. Tap the arrow in the lower right corner of the keyboard to hide it again. You can add non-text content to documents by inserting specialized objects. Double tap on the screen to display a menu, or tap plus in the toolbar. You can add image objects, sketch objects for free drawing, diagram objects, and math objects for simple calculations that can be solved with a double tap. Content within math and diagram objects can be converted with a double tap or via the three dots menu. All these objects can be moved or resized using the handles. To select an object, just tap it. You can then tap the three dots that appear above the object to cut, copy, or delete it. In math objects, you can choose between a truncated or rounded result and whether to display angles in degrees or radians. You can also deactivate calculation solving. To insert a note section into a document, double tap on the screen to display a menu, or tap plus in the toolbar, then choose Note. Alternatively, draw a horizontal line from one side of the page to the other. Note sections offer the same features as Nebo Notes, except that they are width limited with no zoom feature. Finally, text that has been copied outside of Nebo can be pasted into Nebo. Just long press on the screen and tap Paste. Your handwritten text can be converted in different ways. You can simply double tap it, or else tap a paragraph to select it, access the three dots menu and choose Convert. You can also convert the whole page by tapping the three dots at the top right of the page and choosing Convert All. Note that this option will convert everything except content within note sections, sketch objects, and annotations on images. When you write a sentence, the preview is displayed to let you check your writing has been properly recognized. If not, you can tap a word in the conversion preview and see the other conversion options. Note that this preview is only available in the document body and diagram objects. Once converted, your text stays editable, but please note that there are two typeset formats, a large one and a small one. Editing gestures work on both formats. If your typeset text is small, just double tap it to make it larger. Small typeset text takes less space, but large typeset makes the editing process easier. Double tap again to revert to the smaller size. If you start writing with your pen, then choose to continue with the keyboard, your typeset text will appear in a larger font. But if you start typing a new paragraph, your text will appear in a smaller font and you won't be able to keep writing or edit with your pen, unless you double tap the paragraph to make your typeset text larger. Pen gestures can help you arrange and edit your text. Use an upward gesture to join lines. Use a downward gesture to break a line. This makes it easy to add additional content. To erase a word, scratch it out with your pen or use the eraser icon. All these gestures work whatever the format of your text. However, erase gestures don't work on image annotations or content in sketch objects. To insert or remove space between two paragraphs, put two fingers side by side on the screen, wait until a blue line appears. Then, adjust spacing as needed. You can also display this blue line by long pressing on the screen and tapping Adjust Space. Nebo documents are responsive and will automatically adapt to layout changes such as when you enter split screen or adjust your device orientation, much like a website. Any handwritten paragraphs are treated like typed text. If your page layout changes, your text will automatically reflow. There are several ways to format your text, whether it's handwritten or typed. You can long press to select it or use the lasso. Either way, a toolbar will display. Tap Style and choose the formatting you want. To remove formatting, just tap the relevant option again. To highlight text, use the highlighter. Or use the pen icon and circle it. The color applied will be the one shown in the tip of the highlighter in the top navigation bar. Circle highlighted text again to remove the highlight. To change the color of your text, long press it or select it with the lasso and tap the desired color in the toolbar. It's also possible to recolor text by long pressing on it with the highlighter. You can underline your text or double underline it. Nebo will recognize these gestures and convert them to perfect regularized forms. Underline a third time to remove underline formatting. Strike through a word to apply strike-through formatting. Strike it through again to remove the formatting. Note that the behavior of the underline and strike-through gestures can be changed via Nebo's settings. Keep watching to find out more. You can move and organize blocks of content with your finger. Each paragraph, title, image, and so on is a block that can be moved. You can use the relevant editing gestures to join or break two text blocks. You can resize and move blocks to form columns. Blocks can be defined as paragraphs, titles, subtitles, or lists. You can also insert lists as you write. All sorts of lists are recognized: numbered lists, bulleted lists, and checklists. When you're finished, double tap to convert your list. If you want to adjust indentations, use the lasso tool or long press to select your text, then tap Indent and select Increase or Decrease. You can also use your finger, swiping right or left across your text to increase or decrease indentation. Nebo lets you customize your content. Tap the pen icon to discover the different pens and stroke widths available. The eraser also comes in different sizes, and you can adjust it to erase whole strokes or more precise selections. To change the background, tap the three dots then choose Background. Nebo offers a range of background colors. You can add custom colors for writing or drawing. To do so, tap the plus icon in the toolbar and adjust hue, saturation, and brightness. Tap the trash icon to delete a custom color, or the plus icon to duplicate it. Long press and drag the custom color to wherever you want it. You can add specific words or acronyms to Nebo's dictionary to ensure the app recognizes them in future. Just long press a typeset word and tap Learn. You can access the dictionary via Nebo's settings. You can also customize some of Nebo's pen gestures here. For example, you can set a strike-through to erase a word instead of adding strike-through formatting. Set an underline to make text bold instead of underlining it. When you write a sentence, the conversion preview displays. You can deactivate this option by tapping the three dots in the top right corner. The preview will still display when you tap a paragraph. You move shapes within a diagram object using your finger, as well as using the alignment guides to ensure an organized layout. You can also remove these guides if you prefer. Tap the three dots in the top right corner of the page, then deactivate alignment guides. Tap Advanced to view and adjust other preferences. You can choose for the keyboard to display when you tap the screen. And remember, the keyboard tool is always available via the toolbar. If you want to use a passive pen or your finger instead of an active pen, deactivate Use Active Pen. To search the content on your page, tap the magnifying glass icon, type what you're looking for, and tap Enter. If the search term appears on your page, it'll be highlighted. If there are multiple hits, tap the arrows to jump to the next or previous one. If you enter several words, Nebo will search for each of them separately. Note that only the current page will be searched. When your page is ready to be exported, tap the three dots in the top right corner, then tap Export. Choose your preferred format and whether you want to export the background color along with your content. Rename your file if needed and tap Export. Note that the page length of exported documents is automatically defined and can't be customized. To import a file as a PDF, add a new page to your notebook and tap Import as PDF. You can also open a file on your device. Tap the Share icon, then tap the Nebo icon to open the file in Nebo. You'll have to choose the notebook where you want to import the file. Word, PowerPoint, and PDF files can all be imported into Nebo as PDFs. Nebo lets you customize your content. Tap the pen icon to discover the different pen types and stroke widths available. Note that it's not yet possible to convert handwriting or use the keyboard in imported PDFs. Tap the highlighter icon, choose a stroke width, then tap the color you want in the toolbar. Unlike in notes or documents, any formatting will stay as is and won't be converted. The eraser also comes in different sizes, and you can adjust it to erase whole strokes or more precise selections. Note that you can only erase your annotations. The PDF content is not editable. If you want to use a passive pen or your finger instead of an active pen, tap the three dots in the top right corner of your page, select Advanced and deactivate Use Active Pen. Imported PDFs are zoomable, and you can scroll up or down with your finger. You can also use the scroll bar to navigate. To jump to a specific page within an imported PDF, tap the page number in the top left corner, type the page number you want and tap Enter. Your PDF annotations can be selected with the lasso, copied and pasted elsewhere. They can also be resized using the block handles. Note that you can only resize your annotations, the PDF content is not editable. To search the content on your page, tap the magnifying glass icon, type what you're looking for, and tap Enter. If the search term appears on your page, in the PDF content or your annotations, it'll be highlighted. If there are multiple hits, tap the arrows to jump to the next or previous one. If you enter several words, Nebo will search for each of them separately. Note that only the current PDF will be searched. When your page is ready to be exported, tap the three dots in the top right corner, then tap Export. Choose your preferred format. If you export in the .nebo format, your file will remain editable in Nebo on another device. If you export as a PDF, you can choose whether to include and flatten any annotations. Flattening annotations will make them non-editable in the exported PDF. Rename the file if needed and tap Export. Nebo's settings can be accessed at the bottom of the sidebar on the left. Tap Display to switch between light and dark modes, or to apply your system settings. Tap Pen to choose your writing position. This will help Nebo to recognize your handwriting even more accurately. Even though we recommend using Nebo with an active pen, it is possible to use your finger. In which case, you can deactivate the Use Active Pen option. Choose Writing, then Text Display to adjust the font size and line height to your liking. Tap Reset to defaults if needed. Tap Languages to see the languages you have installed and the others that are available. Tap a language to download it. You can also choose to deactivate the conversion preview in the document and to reset the ink colors across all your Nebo pages. The Interactions section allows you to customize what happens when you strike through or underline a word. Tap Dictionary to view a list of any custom words or acronyms you have added to Nebo's dictionary, or to add new ones. If you need to remove a word from the dictionary, tap Select at the top, choose the word and tap Delete at the bottom. In math, you can choose whether you want simple equations to be solved, whether a result should be truncated or rounded, and whether the angle unit should be degree or radian. Note that these options only apply to math objects within Nebo documents. To synchronize your Nebo library with a cloud storage service, go to Settings at the bottom of the sidebar, tap Sync and choose your preferred cloud storage service. Note that you'll need a MyScript account to use Cloud Sync. Synchronization in Nebo is manual. Go back to Notebooks and tap Sync at the top of the sidebar to ensure the notes on your device are synced with your cloud storage service. Note that it's not possible to open Nebo files outside of Nebo, even if you can see them listed in the cloud. Once synced, your notes can be accessed on any device using Nebo, iPad, Mac M1/M2, Android or Windows, or on your iPhone in read-only via our Nebo Viewer companion app. Content can only be edited within Nebo. Be careful when syncing between devices so that you don't overwrite content you want to keep. Synchronization does not equal backup. To back up your pages, go to Settings at the bottom of the sidebar and tap Backup. You can back up your library or restore a previous backup file. To manage your account, go to Settings at the bottom of the sidebar and tap Account. On iOS only, you can participate in our Insider program. You'll be able to beta test some of our latest features and share your feedback with us. Go to Settings at the bottom of the sidebar, tap Insider program and make sure Get Involved is activated. There are 3 levels in Nebo's content hierarchy: Collections, which contain notebooks, Notebooks, which contain pages, and Pages. Collections and notebooks are sorted alphabetically. To create a new collection or notebook, tap plus at the top of the sidebar on the left. When you create a new notebook, you'll need to give it a title, choose a collection where it will be saved, and color code it. Next, define the language in which you'll be writing. This ensures that your handwriting is properly recognized. Be careful, as the notebook language can't be changed afterwards. Note that no matter which language you choose, English will be recognized too. However, you can't choose any pair of languages. English plus one other language is the only combo Nebo will recognize. To add a page in your notebook, either tap plus in the top right corner of the page or tap the big plus. You can then choose what type of page you want to create. To move a page inside your notebook or to another notebook, long press it, then move it via drag and drop. Note that you can only move a page into a notebook with the same recognition language. Notebooks, however, can be moved into any collection. Swipe a notebook's name. Tap Edit to rename the notebook and change its collection if needed. Keep in mind that you cannot change a notebook's language once you've created it. You can also long press a notebook's name to display the different options. It's the same with collections. Either swipe a collection name to the left or long press it to display the options available. Tap Edit to rename a collection and Delete to delete the collection. Inside a notebook, long press a page to display the different options. Or tap the three dots in the top right corner of the page. Tap Select, then tap individual pages to select them. The available actions will display at the bottom of the screen. Tap 1 to perform that action on the selected pages. Note that you cannot rename or duplicate several pages at the same time. When you're finished, tap Done in the top right corner to cancel your selection. To search your entire library of collections and notebooks, tap the magnifying glass icon, type what you're looking for, and tap Enter. The pages containing your search term will display, with the number of hits in each page displayed in blue. Tap Cancel in the top right corner to end the search. Notebooks can contain three types of pages: notes, documents, and PDFs. When you create a document, the first sentence you write becomes the page title. To rename the page, either edit this first sentence or tap the title and use the keyboard. You can also go back to the list of pages, long press a page and tap Rename. There is no automatic title for notes. They are called no name until you name them. Note that the date and time displayed are when the page was last updated. To duplicate a page, long press it and tap Duplicate. This feature is ideal if you want to keep a copy of your original handwritten notes before converting to typed text. To export a whole notebook, find it in the sidebar, long press its name and select Export, or swipe its name to the left. Then tap Export. Two export formats are available, .nebo or PDF. Exporting in .nebo format means your file can be opened and edited in Nebo on another device, great for collaborating. When exporting, you can also choose whether to combine all the pages of your notebook into a single file, and whether to include background colors and patterns. To export a single note, long press its name and select Export. For export formats are available, PNG, PDF, SVG or Nebo. You can choose whether to include the background color and pattern. Rename the file if needed and tap Export. To export a single document, long press its name and select Export. For export formats are available, text, PDF, Word or Nebo. Depending on the format, you can choose whether to include the background color. Rename the file if needed and tap Export. To export a single PDF, long press it and tap Export. Two export formats are available, .nebo or PDF. If you choose PDF, you can choose whether to include and flatten the annotations. Flattening annotations will make them non-editable in the exported file. Rename the file if needed and tap Export. To export several pages, tap the three dots in the top right corner, then tap Select Pages. Tap the pages you want to export, then tap Export at the bottom. The available export formats and options will depend on the page type selected. If you choose to combine the pages into one file, you'll have the option to rename the exported file. Finally, tap Export. To share a page, tap the three dots in the top right corner, then select Create Link. Now tap Create Link again. Your shared page is private by default. If you make it public, it will be available to anyone who has the link. Rest assured, even public shared pages won't appear in general internet search results. If you keep your shared page private, you'll need to add the email addresses of anyone you want to be able to access it. If you update the page and want to share the updated version, go back to the Create Link menu and tap Update. Those who already have the link will see the updated version. Tap Share Link to copy the link or share it via your usual communication apps. Tap Delete Link to delete the link. While it's possible to create long notes in Nebo, your device needs to be able to process the notes you create. So please keep in mind that long notes can cause performance issues.